Welcome to our Jentcammant page. In this video, we will examine the world's top 10 fighter jets. The list includes different aircraft from many countries, all of which are living legends. And rankings for aircraft have changed with recent updates. So, without further ado, let's start the rankings. But before we begin, let's start by stating this. When ranking aircraft, we consider all aspects of their condition, the aircraft's capabilities, its health, and its price, all of which are important factors. Let's consider the ranking accordingly. Let's begin. Number 10 is the Just-39 Gripen. This Swedish-made aircraft is considered a light fighter and was generally designed for defensive purposes. We see two wings at the front of the aircraft to increase maneuverability. It wouldn't be wrong to say that it's physically quite flexible. Beyond that, we can say that it's a modern aircraft overall, but because it's a bit smaller, it's electronically more advanced than others. It's designed for use on a small island. While it's possible to say that its advanced models have over-permitted radar systems, it wouldn't be wrong to say that it's even a step behind the E-16. It debuted at number 10 on the list, both in terms of both first time and potential. Ninth place. The legendary F-16 is here. This aircraft, the backbone of Turkish aviation, is the third most produced fighter jet in the world, and even now ranks among the most used aircraft in the world. It's a very affordable and high-performance aircraft, a model that broke new ground in its era. It boasts high towing capacity and a droplet cockpit design that allows a thoroughbred fighter pilot to see better. Of course, most of these newer aircraft don't have them, as they're older. While they sometimes try to catch up with today's aircraft, they're starting to fall behind. The Eurofighter, ranked 8th, is a fighter jet originally developed by the United Kingdom, but a favorite of Europe. The European Union developed this aircraft to counter the Russians and achieve air superiority. A thoroughbred fighter in terms of design and form, it uses the Typhoon EJ-200 engine, which has two channels between us. This engine is quite powerful and advanced. It also has a good air-to-air system and a pirate sensor. This pirate sensor can track ground and air targets without emitting any emissions. It should be a model for even the most modern aircraft. However, as the aircraft is generally aging, it has fallen to 8th place. In 7th place is the French Rafale fighter jet. Actually, this aircraft is not far behind the Eurofighters, but the Rafale is more capable of ground attack than the Eurofighter. The nature of the aircraft requires this. Furthermore, the Rafale's radar echo is quite low, and it has modern electronic warfare systems. There's no need to argue about this. The words French electronics, German mechanics were coined here. But due to the aircraft's unnecessarily expensive and the overwhelming strength of the list, it fell to 7th place. 6th place. While there are comments about how the American Navy's King Eve-18 is inferior to the Rafale, these are incorrect. The EFE-18 has a very wide range of weapons. It can also carry a wide variety of munitions, such as cells. However, the Rafale was not designed this way. Furthermore, the APK-79 radar on the EF-18 is at least 60% larger than the Tail series. Therefore, its superiority is inevitable. Furthermore, the EF-18s have proven themselves as vehicles that have endured despite being misused on aircraft carriers. The F-15 fighter jet, generally considered the darling of the American Air Force, comes in 5th place. It's estimated that the U.S. has approximately 1,500 operational models of these iPhone 5s. These aircraft boast high altitude, speed, and payload capacity. Furthermore, unlike the twins, they have a more stealthy design. This, of course, applies to the newer models. While not a naval aircraft, they are among the most durable aircraft. Furthermore, they incorporate passive electronic warfare systems and radar systems, making them quite adequate for today's standards. Due to some differences and advantages, their fifth-place ranking is appropriate. Fourth place goes to the Su-35 fighter jet. It wouldn't be wrong to call it the best fighter jet in the world, aside from fifth-generation aircraft. This isn't theoretically proven, but it is physically and qualitatively proven. For example, it flies at 60,000 wickets in FIFA 2.5, and there's no other standard model. It's far superior to all standard NATO and American aircraft. Furthermore, thanks to its two very powerful engines and a directional thrust system, it offers unlimited maneuverability. Its Cobra maneuver in particular provides superiority in combat. Performing it a couple of times in a dogfight can determine the fate of the fleet. Furthermore, it has two forward wings to support maneuvers. This is a common occurrence in many aircraft. Furthermore, it boasts a unique avionics and system structure. Along with its advanced size, it deserves to be in fourth place. Because, moving on to the most iconic aircraft on the list, it's in third place, the legend of legends. The Nef-22 is no longer the world's best fighter jet. With innovations in other aircraft, it's starting to drift away from that category. In fact, it has three of the most significant features that have led it to rise to this rank: its design, price, and radar ego. For this reason, it is considered very superior. It is still superior. But if the first two aircraft lack superior, it deserves its third place on the list. Its current radar and electronic warfare systems are unrivaled. Especially after modernization, they will take on a different structure. Of course, not everything is this perfect. The unpopular parts of the aircraft are its communication and survivability problems. It has a vulnerability to poor weather conditions and artillery systems. During harsh maneuvers, it can make its coatings noble. This will also act as a reflector against the enemy. It would not be wrong to say that it is an aircraft that suffered the same fate as the fundamental of Einstein's theory of relativity. Second in line is the Russian Su-57. While people generally see it as much worse and less successful than the 22, this is a misnomer. Reports suggest it's an advanced aircraft in Syria, both in terms of avionics and systems. Its laser system can blind me with missiles, or confuse me with electronic warfare systems on its wings. It also has a very long range, speed, and altitude. It's a complete aircraft in this regard, but due to its large radar echo and the problems it has experienced, it couldn't reach the top of the class. We know it's still suffering from construction. We're moving on. It was ridiculed for its troubles, but it deserved to be at the top. Because no matter how much it suffered, there's still no other aircraft that can do what it does. The F-35 fighter jet is number one. It's been ridiculed a lot for its recent problems, such as its poor maneuverability and slow speed. It has many drawbacks, such as its single engine and low payload. However, people forget that the EFE-35 is a versatile strategic bomber. For example, there's a sea base that no aircraft can destroy. Sufficient technology exists for such missions. For aircraft like the F-35, it must include very high electronic warfare capabilities. It especially needs to be invisible on radar. While we've often talked about it in our videos and buried it, let's give it credit. The F-35 is the best aircraft with this characteristic. The F-35 fighter jet is number one. It's been ridiculed a lot for its recent problems, such as its poor maneuverability and slow speed. It has many drawbacks, such as its single engine and low payload. However, people forget that the EFE-35 is a versatile strategic bomber. For example, there's a sea base that no aircraft can destroy. Sufficient technology exists for such missions. For aircraft like the F-35, it must include very high electronic warfare capabilities. It especially needs to be invisible on radar. While we've often talked about it in our videos and buried it, let's give it credit. The F-35 is the best aircraft with this characteristic. It has a high-quality single-engine engine and a fully composite invisible fuselage. Even from the outside, its smoothness is clearly visible. Furthermore, the infrared sensor located under the aircraft's head is one of the best passive scanners developed in the world. As such, no pilot would want to encounter an E-35L. Despite all these problems, who among you can keep the aircraft afloat by throwing money at it? And that's what will keep you afloat. We've reached the end of another Top 10 video. We'll continue listing the legendary combat vehicles of the world. It has a high-quality single-engine engine and a fully composite invisible fuselage. Even from the outside, its smoothness is clearly visible. Furthermore, the infrared sensor located under the aircraft's head is one of the best passive scanners developed in the world. As such, no pilot would want to encounter an E-35L. Despite all these problems, who among you can keep the aircraft afloat by throwing money at it? And that's what will keep you afloat. We've reached the end of another Top 10 video. We'll continue listing the legendary combat vehicles of the world.